All right, so what I wanted to do was run through the Mutual of Omaha IULE products with you, Eric. I think it's an awesome product. We're having some great success with it, and just a couple of nuances that I found make it easier to go through the underwriting process. And then if you want to share your thoughts on it as well, but I can do a share screen and show you kind of what makes sense with it. So. This Mutual of Omaha IULE product, great product. It's the Index Universal Life Express product. What I'm finding is as I'm going through and I'm selling this product compared to other products that might be geared towards people that are maybe younger and healthier and permanent coverage, and builds up some modest cash value, that the price point is very competitive with other products out there. And what I'll do is I'll show you the difference just for let's say a 45-year-old male. I ran this the other day for a 45-year-old male. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to share my screen here. So if you look at comparable product to this, which is the Forester Smart UL, if you were to price this out for a $250,000 policy, male, age 45, non-tobacco, I ran it in Florida because that's where I live. The Smart Cell premium, which is the premium that you should be quoting, it's $322.15 a month. So, I mean, good size premium on that $250,000 policy. It's not an index product, meaning it has a fixed rate of interest. So it's going to be steady Eddie, always gaining interest, where the Index Universal Life is going to be up and then walk and then up and then walk as the markets go up. But check this out. So Eric, I thought this was super cool. So $322.15. The same client with this Mutual Omaha IULE, 45-year-old male, non-tobacco, same health criteria, they got to be in good health, $214. So huge difference there, right? And so, yeah. I mean, obviously there's a big price difference, but they're in both cases, they're getting the product that's really designed to be permanent in this case. It's not guaranteed to be permanent, but it would be permanent in this case. But massive difference between the $214 a month premium and the $322 a month premium. So I think that's super important just to note is it's a great option. And Mutual Omaha is approving these things very quickly right now. They're contracting very quickly right now. So it's a great option just to have in your bag, be ready to present this to clients and understand it. A couple of things that I found that make this product easier to sell is number one, as you're going through to completing the electronic application. So I'm on the Sales Professional Access site here in Mutual of Omaha. So to do an electronic application, click right there. We have plenty of training on how to do e-apps. You can check out my training site or the Athas site. There's a lot of sites that have information on that. But what I found to make this whole process easiest is as you're completing that electronic application, to actually complete the illustration, because the IULE requires an illustration, complete the illustration right there while you're sitting with the client. And then because you're not going to have a printer typically, I mean, you want to be able to have them sign it. I actually upload it right into Docusign. So to do the illustration, I'm clicking on WinFlex right here. I'll just show you guys. If you need instructions on how to do how to create WinFlex, I always do the web instructions. So I'm not downloading the software. So do the web instructions there. That teaches you how to do it. But then to do the WinFlex illustration, you just go straight here to that visit WinFlex web. You pull that up, and this allows you to log in and create that illustration. And you're always clicking on illustrations right here. And then start new case, and then click United of Omaha, and you can just walk through that whole process, download it as a PDF. And then once you have it downloaded as a PDF, this is where Docusign comes into play. So I'm going to log into my Docusign account here. And what I'm doing is I'm just making this part of the sales process as I'm doing that e-app. But what ends up happening is you load in the PDF onto Docusign by just dropping it right here. But then if you go down to your completed ones, like here's one that I did just the other day with a client named Sally Shock. So I can actually download it once it's completed, and you download the document, which would be the illustration, and then the certificate of completion, which shows your IP address, the client's IP address, everything. You can download the whole thing. When you get to the end of actually submitting in the electronic application on the Mutual of Omaha site, you upload it right in there. So when it goes to the underwriter, there's no requirements. That all they're doing is that they're looking at the e-app, then they're looking at the illustration, boom, you're done. But I think it's really important to utilize Docusign to your advantage. You can do like a free account and have like uh, 5 trial signature documents on there. But I just have like a basic one where I'm doing like I think it's like 5 to 15 a month or so. But you can just register for Docusign, upload it in there, and go from there. So Eric, those are my 2 cents on that product, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it as well. And just give me some information on it from your perspective.
Yeah, so thanks, Mike, and I appreciate you doing that. So number one, the product. So right now, like you said, is if you have all your ducks in a row, you know how you have that illustration done and all that. That stuff's issuing in a matter of a day, 2 days, 3 days. You know, where some of these, these other carriers with their products, and nothing wrong with them, but you can see the price difference, number one. So it is more attractive for your client. It's an easier pill to swallow. But it's at the end of the day, we need to get these clients covered quickly. And if you guys can learn how to upload and DocuSign that illustration, like Mike just talked about, even if it's not DocuSign, if you're using Adobe, or it's all a very similar process. But do you get one nice, complete, neat package to that underwriter, goes right through, issues for your client, pays you out very quickly. And like Mike said, if you're, Mutual is pretty quick right now on contracting agents, and they're pretty quick on issuing business. We've seen that with a lot of their products. What I also like about the comparing, the Mutual IULE to, Smart UL or some of these others, is that actually the guaranteed interest rate is a little bit higher too for the client. So it's kind of a better deal. The illustration is fairly easy to run. So if, and what else, so, if you want to get a little more in depth, if you're listening to this and you still don't quite, understand everything, call Mutual, call Mutual, ask for new business. They will help you. They will show you how to run an illustration if you're uncomfortable doing that, or if you're seeing a client after hours and you have to do an illustration, and that, because I know for me, for years, I wouldn't even do the illustration. I would just call in Mutual. Hey, can you email me the illustration? But that takes time. And if you're doing a virtual sale or time is tough, you need to kind of get good at this. And Mike, you've been good at this, and I appreciate you taking some time to do this, because I think this is going to help a lot of agents be able to offer this product, feel comfortable offering the product in one quick, easy shot, and then having it issued in a couple of days and paying. We're all here to make money for our families. We're here to protect other families, but we're here to make money for our families as well. So that's my 2 cents. I think it's a great product, like I said, for the above reasons. And I think we're going to see a lot more people writing this. Maybe talk about, Mike, just for a second, on who we're selling this to, like who is our client for this. It's one thing to be able to offer the product and talk about the product and this and that, but how do we sell it and who are we selling it to?
So yeah, great points. I mean, I can just glancing at the illustrations that I've run most recently. I sold one. It was last Thursday, I believe, to a client. She was 63 years old, great health, 0 medications, which is, I mean, that's a rarity in our society, but whatever. I mean, she's in great health. She's looking for a permanent policy that would protect her kids, so when she passes away, so that they have cash to be able to sell the home. I mean, pay for the dumpster to show up to unload all the junk out of the house, and pay realtor fees and taxes and everything that needs to happen there. So she bought a $40,000 IULE policy with the understanding that it's going to be a permanent policy for her. And so she never has to really worry about dealing with the price increase or anything like that, because we're funding it at that easy solve rate. So it's gonna be funded properly, where it's gonna last forever for her. So that was one example. I'm a huge fan of selling these to younger folks. I think that the index universal life policies in general are going to be a great option for them if they're funded properly, meaning you're selling them at easy solve, or you're selling them above target, basically. Because it's going to provide that growth, and when the stock market goes up, they're going to realize those gains, and the stock market goes down, they're not losing anything. I think that there's a lot of power to not having that loss. So an index universal life product is a great means of creating a permanent product out there that builds up some good cash value. I mean, I've used this product in the past instead of selling a return of premium product, where those clients are like, yeah, like that return of premium is cool. Like at the end of 30 years, they're getting their money back. I think there's a lot of power to that. But what's cooler? Would you rather get your money back, or would you rather get your money back plus interest on it, and plus plus plus? And so I'm a big fan of utilizing the index products where you're not losing money, that's only going up. And if you look at it over a long term period, I'm not talking about people that are going to keep these policies for a couple of years, but if you're going to utilize it for a long term, I mean, you can't lose with it. You're going to make money every single time because it's going to continue to increase. So typically for these products, you got to have people that are healthy. I mean, we're not selling these to the clients that would be candidates for whole life, that have had health issues, that have had like a heart attack, cancer, stroke, anything like that. You got to be relatively healthy, maybe a little bit of blood pressure medication, cholesterol, that sort of thing. But again, I'll say it one more time: healthy individuals. But it's a great way to have a permanent style product without paying the whole life guarantees that come with the whole life policy, where you're pricing it out to age 121 or whatever. So, I mean, the way that index products work is the cost of insurance is generally lower when you're younger. So it gives that cash value the time to accumulate, which I think is a great thing. So younger, healthier for a permanent option makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say, and just kind of dovetailing what you said, is that if you do run into, so a lot of times we'll see seniors that, number one, if somebody is asking for whole life, sell them whole life, sell them what they're asking for. That's number one. But if you have a client that is a lot, maybe older and looking for a certain amount, typically when we sell a whole life policy to a senior, we're talking 10, 15, $20,000 whole life policy. Well, like Mike said, if they're healthy, if they're reasonably healthy, they can get more face amount for the same money with this product. So it's a chance to put them in a better situation if they, number one, understand it. And then again, here's what you want to do, because I'm coming at it from the sales side. Like, make sure, what we don't want to do is sit there and throw a bunch of weird insurance terms that these people don't understand. So watch your language. Don't be too technical explaining this product if you're trying to sell it. Talk about interest rate. Like Mike said, great example. Would you rather have, no interest, or would you rather have interest? Well, that's kind of a rhetorical question, but those are the kind of things that people understand. But don't try to be too technical with people, I think, on the sales side. But this is a product, like Mike says, it's good for everybody. But I think we can see some real value if you're out there competing against other agents and they're showing them, a whole life product for 15,000, in face value, and they're really healthy. Well, maybe they come up here and get 25 or 30,000 for kind of around the same price. And that's going to make more sense. So, man, I love this product. I love that, that we're going to be writing a lot more of it. And you guys get comfortable with it, practice some illustrations, because I think this is a product that can put a lot of money in your pocket and do it very quickly while helping the client very quickly as well. That's all I got, Mike.
I like it. I hope we sell a whole lot more of it because it's a great product.